guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
What's up, guys? Good morning and welcome back to Breakthrough with Coach Lou. It is a Monday morning, guys, and we are right around the corner from Christmas. Whatever other holidays you celebrate this time of year, we're right around the corner from it, kids. And I ask you a question. Today's title was Burned. Are you burned out? Seriously. Are you currently feeling burned out? And you might go, well, you know what? Yeah. Me too. And you're going, no, Coach, not you, Mr. Happy. You notice the show started a couple minutes late this morning. So yes, this time of year, burnout is a real thing, guys. It really can be, and it really can rob the whole season of joy that we're supposed to have, right? And I'm not coming to you going the kumbaya and the doodah and this, that, and the other. I'm coming to you to talk straight up about how do we get out of this burnout loop? And you might go, well, I'm not really burned out. I'm just kind of tired all the time. Baby, that's burned out, okay? That is burned out. And it happens to all of us. And you know what it does? You think, well, it robs me of my joy or my energy. You know what it really does? It robs the world of what you have to give. When you get so caught up in the day-to-day, in the drama, in the things, and the gotta-dos, and the this, the that, and everything else, you cheat the world out of the best version of you. You're cheating your spouse, you're cheating your kids, you're cheating your family, you're cheating your loved ones, you're cheating your creator. Ooh, that don't feel too good, does it? And you might be going, well, what exactly does this all mean? Well, let's go on a little journey. Have you ever had a time in life where you were so happy, so nourished, so fulfilled that everything you touched basically turned to gold? I mean, it was, every time you went to the mailbox, there was a check in the mailbox or a DM with a payment, or everything you did, you held the door for people and they smiled, or you said something and somebody said, you made my day, or you saved my life. It happens where you're just in flow state. And guess when flow state occurs? When you are on top of the world, not when you're burned out getting through the day. And right now, we all tend to go, we're getting through the day until January, mid-January, or we're getting through until. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And it's no secret that I'm happy with the result of the election. Okay? And if you're not, I respect your opinion on that. If you are, hey, that's awesome too. It's not a political thing. But I'm going to tell you something. No matter which person had won that you wanted in this election, mid-January is not the time to start. Nobody's going to do it for you, okay? A president or somebody can set the stage for economic spring, and I believe that's coming. But you still got to get up off your butt and do your part. But don't do it blindly and trudging through the daily tasks. And then at the end of the day go, I did so much, but I don't really feel like I accomplished anything, because you didn't accomplish anything that is truly important. I'm going to do a little lesson here for you this morning, if you guys don't mind. Would it be valuable to give you something that could be useful on a daily basis? Okay. And that is the difference between urgent, urgently important, and important. Then there's not important, but we don't even want to even think of the not important stuff. The not important stuff is scrolling Facebook all day. The important stuff is watching me on Facebook talk to you live this morning. Okay, that's important because you're going to get something from it. So we'll do the 4 levels. The not important, not urgent. That is the scrolling through social media for hours and hours. And there's nothing wrong with social media. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't be connecting with you right now. Okay? You wouldn't connect with people. There wouldn't be great marketing opportunities. All kinds of great stuff with social media, as long as you're not just scrolling through, or worse yet, arguing with idiots. And you might say, there you are, coach. See, I knew you were judgmental or something. You know, you say everybody's got free speech, but you say, well, idiots are those that refuse to see a common ground or a middle ground. Okay. And that can be on either side of anything. A little bit of compassion, a little bit of, well, I can see your point. I still don't agree with you. I don't have to agree with you to understand where you're coming from. Does that make sense? But as long as you don't get into that loop on social media, so social media is not a horrible thing. As long as you're just not scrolling through just mindlessly because you have nothing else to do or you want to be in that distraction mode. Okay, if you want to take a break and check up and see how the fam's doing and what's going on, that's cool. All right. So then what's the next level? And there is so we have the not urgent, not important. Okay. Now, what about the urgent, important? Okay. Or the just urgent? I'm getting ahead of myself. What about just urgent? Oh, ding, an email came in. I got to respond to it right away. 1 out of 1,000 emails require an immediate response. 1 out of 1,000 phone calls might require an immediate response. Okay, you might want to delegate some of this stuff or set a specific time to return calls, to return emails. A call from the police department if you own a business or you have children and you see it's your police department ringing through, that might be urgent and important. But most of the urgent is not important. Somebody comes in and says, oh my God, I forgot to file this. You got to do it right away. You screwed up and I got to do it right away. That's an urgent that's not really important. Now, then we go into urgent and important. Okay, this is crazy. This is where something needs your attention. It needs it now. That's the call from the police department. Hey, your child's been in an accident, or somebody broke into your business, or we're coming to get you. No, they wouldn't call and tell you they're coming to get you, guys. So the police are calling you, answer the phone. It's probably important. And it may be very well urgent important. But seriously, so you get the idea there of, or your kid's school calls you. That's pretty urgent and pretty important. You take that call. Okay. So then we get into important, not urgent, but important. What is that? That is the zone of life. That is doing something like educating yourself. It's important, but it's not urgent. It's something that's fulfilling. That's what makes the difference. That urgent, not important, urgent, not important. Important, not urgent. That zone, that target you're after is, taking care of your body is important. Okay. Now, if you just cut yourself so deep and you're spraying blood everywhere and you need to get to the emergency room, that's urgent and important. But to go get your exercise in, to cook a healthy meal, to spend some quality family time without the phones and the social media at dinner, that's important. Okay. So important is the zone that you want to live in. You don't want to be in the zone of distraction, which is not urgent, not important. You don't want to be in the constant urgent zone where, there's somebody's dumping problems on you all the time, but they're really not that important. And then you don't want to always have the urgent, important emergency things that have to be done right now. And yes, they are important, like getting your taxes done on a certain day because you didn't get them done early. What you want to get into is that urgent, not importance, or important, not urgent zone, where you are working on the things that are truly important to you. Growth, connection with your family, growing a business. Okay, there's a difference between working in a business, having your own business and being an employee of your own business that, you went from 40 hours a week to 90, or you set it up so that you work on the growth of the business and you delegate and you do the important things, which is growing the business, not necessarily sweeping the floor. Yes, the floor has to be swept, but that's where you provide a job for somebody who enjoys that or needs that to support their family while you're working on the growth. Because if you're sweeping the floors all day long, there's nothing wrong with that. You're not focusing on your marketing or your growth. You see what I'm talking about? That's the difference between the urgent and the important. So as we're going into 25, that's why I'm talking about being burned out today. This time of year, and it happens every year, and I'm right there with you. I feel you. Hey, Merry Christmas, Donnie boy. What's up, brother? Good to see you on this morning. But seriously, when you get so burned out this time of year because you think you got to do everything, you got to get it done before the end of the year. And I'm guilty of it too. We are, every time Christmas season comes around, we're going to make a major change at the auction house. I'm going to shift gears with the shows and we're going to upgrade what we're doing here. And by the way, we got some good stuff coming up. But all of a sudden we start to get that urgent, important at the end of the year. Push, push, push. Get I got my accountant going, hey, I thought you said you were going to get stuff into me earlier this year. And I'm like, son of a, he's right. That should have been done last month. Okay. But that's the whole point. We do it to ourselves. But what I'm trying to get to you is avoid the absolute burnout. Don't get to that point where you're sick. That's the worst. When you feel that turning point where you're pushing. I was catching up with a friend of mine that I haven't heard from in a while, who's in the production space, and she was like, "I am so burned out. I feel sick, and my body's just telling me I need to take a minute." I said, "Then take a minute, okay? Because you're going to either take a minute now and recharge, or you're going to lose days from being sick." And I'm like, this, you've done this every year. We've all done this. And, thank God I've avoided for a few years. A few years back, I got really sick at Christmas because I just pushed myself into the ground. It was like, just get one more thing done, one more thing, turned into 10 more things each day. And then wham, my body said, I'm shutting you down no matter what. And I spent Christmas all wrapped up in a blanket looking at the TV and, the kids going, well, hey, Dad, stay away. We don't want your germs. Wow, that ruined my important time, the truly important time, which was my family time at Christmas. So watch out for the burnout, guys. What can you do about that? What can you do? I'm going to give you a couple of pointers of what you can do to avoid getting sick and totally burned out for this Christmas and holiday season. Number one, watch your alcohol consumption. I don't drink, so I don't have to worry about that. But if that's one of the things that happens this time of year. People tend to be partying a little too much and they wonder why they end up sick. Watch what you're eating. Sugar is pretty toxic. Watch what you're eating. Okay, it's not having a candy bar to get through the longer day because you got Christmas shopping and stuff to do on top of your normal routine is not going to be the way to fuel that. Okay, and take the stress level down. I see it all the time. People are going to buy a gift for their loved ones and they're freaked out and they're pissed because they can't find a parking space and they waited till the last minute. I'm notorious for that. Thank God for Amazon at times. Even though I say use local business, sometimes it saves my butt around holidays, birthdays, Christmas, and stuff like that. But take that stress level down. You're going to do something nice for somebody and you're eating your body up with stress and pumping up your cortisol and getting all upset when you're supposed to be enjoying that. If you're buying something for your wife or your husband, you're supposed to be going, wow, this is fun, or my kids are going to love this so much. Not, oh, I can't wait to get the hell out of this mall. And you know what? There is a stress level to it. So go to one of those little chair massages in the mall while you're there and take yourself a little, I think they call them 15-minute vacations. They even call them that on the board. Recharge for 15 minutes. There's nothing wrong with this. As a matter of fact, you will find you're in a better mood. Your loved ones will like to be around you more. Your staff, if you're a business owner or manager, are going to like being around you more if you take the time to recharge. It is that time to recharge falls into what we were talking about earlier, that important, just sheer important time. That's important. It's not urgent, but it certainly is important. And that's the zone you want to spend more of your life in. Okay, we're all going to have the zone of distraction. I'm going to review real quick for you guys. The zone of distraction. Flip through some social media, or I'm going to put on Netflix or whatever and watch some TV. Okay, as long as that's not the major part of your day, it's okay to do that. But understand there's nothing productive about that. That's a zone of distraction. Okay, then you have your zone of urgent and not important. That's where one of your staff or your boss dumps something on you that's, got to be done. And you're like, well, you should have done it yourself, or this should have been done, or whatever. But, it's something that the outcome is not important, but it's got to be done. Okay. Then there's urgent and important. It's the 19th of the month and it's a Friday, and that means I don't have time to file electronically. I don't get the extra time for Monday like everybody does on paper returns. Oh my God, I have got to get these sales taxes in or I'm going to get smacked with a heavy penalty. That's urgent and important. It's got to get done. It's important, and it's got to get done now. That's a stressful zone. Okay. And that's what we're talking about, reducing some of that stress. So don't leave that stuff to the last minute. And then there's a zone of just sheer importance. Yes. Sheer importance. And that is when you get to do something that is important to you. Okay. Spending an hour just with your kids, just to really be present with them without the phone ringing and, I'm answering emails and DMs and everything else, where you go, I'm turning my ringer off. I can get to this in an hour. I'm going to focus on my kids or my spouse or on my friends or whatever it is, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to go for a massage, or I'm going to learn something new. That is the zone. That is your target. That is the bullseye, guys. The question is how do we take these four things, and they're all part of life, and we're never going to eliminate the distraction or the urgent and important. We just want to get more of the truly important. But how do you do that? Well, I got some good news for you. Rounding into 2025, and I don't have dates set yet or anything, but I'm going to be doing some events, some guest events. We'll get everybody on, some meetings. We're going to talk about this because I've been really feverishly working on some systems. See, I do some important stuff. Usually it's at hours most people are in bed, whether it's first thing early in the morning or whether it's later at night, where I think of these things and go, how do I help you understand more of how you can put this all together and organize it so that we don't have to live in these zones of distraction and stress where we can find more time for what's important. Doesn't mean everything else goes away. I wish I could tell you we're going to all kumbaya, go sit at the coffee shop, with our legs crossed and, it's all good and none of us have to work and we can philosophize all day long. Kids, youngins, younger than me, there's Gen Z, whatever we're talking about here. That is not going to happen. Get off your butts. No, but seriously, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is really focusing on getting some of the more important time. And the good thing is I've been working feverishly on some tools and working with some SaaS on that. And you're like, what's SaaS? Some people know exactly what I'm talking about with SaaS, and other people go, what the hell's SaaS? SaaS is not SaaSing back to your family. SaaS is software as a service. And I'm currently finishing my evaluations of some softwares that we can implement planning with and the proper planning style. And then I'm going to bring that to you and say, this is what I use. This is how I set it up. And this is how it helps run businesses and days and personal life. And so that you can live in that zone of truly important. Okay, so there's exciting things on the horizon. I am trying not to be burned right now. And yeah, I've spent a few days where I was burned. I was seriously burned out. And I was like, I had to slam on the brakes and do a 360 and go, enough of this crap. All right, I'm getting control of it. And wow, past few nights I've gotten some great sleep. Anybody that knows me knows that's always been a key factor with me. Sleep I like to fall asleep, wake right back up, and I have an idea or something, and my brain starts going, or I get up really early in the morning, or I end up getting on a project and trailing it till late at night. But I got the sleep back under control and some other things, and cleaned up the eating and been really hitting the gym hard. And that's going to get me away from being burned, because I was. End of last month, I was really burning the candle at both ends and really feeling burned out. And I'm like, how can I help you if I can't help my own dang self? And I was like, you know what? This is learning experience. If I can 360 getting burned out, so can you. So we're going to work on that all for the rest of this month and going into January. We got a lot of good stuff happening, guys. All right, I'm going to cut you free this morning because I think I've run just a hair longer than we planned. But I definitely think it's worthwhile. If anything of what I've said resonates with you today, please put it in the chats, whether you were on live or whether you are watching one of the replays. Please, 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 definitely. Please responding to a chat there, guys. Please respond. Share this. If you think if anything I said was useful to you today, share it with somebody you care about. Share it with somebody you don't care about, and maybe they'll become more the kind of person you care about. Those watching me live this morning, you're going, my God, he got just a little bit red. Yeah, a little bit redneck, guys, if you can't tell. No, seriously, he just got a little red and he looks like he's itchy. It's niacin, guys. It's very good. And I'm not saying this is a doctor. I'll give you a disclaimer. This is not approved by the FDA. But it helps with regulating cholesterol. It helps with opening up the blood flow and getting more oxygen to your cells. Just simple vitamin B3. But don't buy the no flush one because it doesn't do anything. But me personally, it does wonders. I love niacin, but I turn red when I flush. It's for about 10 minutes and get a little itchy, and then it goes away. But it's worth it. But just as a little health tip there for you. So how are you going to avoid stress this holiday season? How are you going to get through Christmas without getting burned out? That is by getting into, and that's a review. And guys, if you're just tuning in, I see a bunch of people just got on. Rewatch this replay. But we talked about getting into that zone of important. Not urgent important, not unimportant zone, just simply into what's important to you. That's like taking care of your body. That's like spending time with loved ones. That's like spending time on your business growth outside of just the business work. Okay, so that's what we talked about today. And again, go back, please watch us if you guys are just tuning in. Watch the replay because I think there's some nuggets in there for you. But it is literally about getting into that zone of important, what is truly important in life. Guys, live with faith, energy, passion, always, and I mean always, live your dreams. This is Coach Lou signing off. Until next time, see you on the next roundabout, and ciao for now.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.